Archangel Michael says, there is a photograph that has traveled further than you realize. It wasn't shared by accident, and the eyes that saw it were never meant to forget it. Someone who was never supposed to see you again came face to face with your image, and they froze in disbelief. They stared so long their fingers trembled, holding the screen like it carried a pulse. It wasn't just any photograph, it was a mirror to their soul, a reminder of a past they buried and a face they thought belonged only in memory. That face was yours. Archangel Michael says, what they saw wasn't just your beauty or your presence, it was recognition on a level beyond time. They whispered your name under their breath, shocked that the world had spun you back into view without warning. For years, they believed you were gone forever, detached by destiny and erased from their timeline. But the photo changed everything. It unlocked a seal they were never prepared to open. It reminded them of a promise they made in secret, a vow spoken to the stars that they'd never forget the face that made their heart burn. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They tried to scroll away, but their hands wouldn't move. The memory hit them like a thunderstorm, loud, sudden, and soaked in emotion. They stared, paralyzed, realizing your face had aged like grace, not just in beauty but in spiritual light. What frightened them more was not that you were still here, it was that you looked stronger, more divine, more untouchable than before. Your glow disturbed their peace, for it confirmed you had survived what they thought would break you. That made their chest tighten. They felt guilt rush in like a crashing wave, because they remembered why they left. Or worse, why they stayed silent. You don't know this yet, but the silence around this person is about to break, and they'll do anything to see you in person. Type Amen to get blessing 111. You will start to feel sudden chills, especially when holding your own photo or when scrolling through old images. That's because your energy is awakening something in the atmosphere. The light around you has shifted, and heaven is allowing your image to stir what has been locked for too long. There is someone who tried to replace your memory with distractions, noise, other faces, but none worked. Because no one carries what you carry. Your face is not just a face to them, it is a divine signal, reminding them of a destiny they turned their back on. Archangel Michael says, there is power in the moment someone realizes they were wrong. And this person is going through that realization now. They are breaking internally, silently, but deeply. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They saw that photo when they weren't even looking for you. They were doing something casual, scrolling, browsing, laughing, and then your image appeared like a flash of thunder. It silenced everything. Even the sound around them dimmed. Their heart jumped because they weren't ready for you. They weren't ready to remember what they buried. But the heavens decided they must face it now. You were always meant to rise before they returned. You were always supposed to become stronger while they sank into their lesson. This moment is not your coincidence, it is their confirmation. Type Amen to get blessing 222. They showed your photo to someone else, seeking validation. Do you remember them? They asked with a shaking voice. But the answer came with a warning, that's not just anyone, they've changed. You're too late. Their soul cracked right then. The realization that you grew in spirit while they stayed stagnant is haunting them. They're trying to find a way back in before it's too late. They think about messaging you every day, writing a comment, liking a post. But fear holds their hands back because they know one wrong word can burn the bridge forever. They don't want to ruin the one chance they might have left. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They saw your eyes in the photo and knew you saw more now. You're not naive like before. Your gaze isn't soft with blind trust anymore, it's sharper, deeper, touched by experience. They've even dreamt about you since seeing that picture. In the dream, you said nothing. You simply stood, glowing, while they tried to reach you, but their hands passed through air. Archangel Michael says, this is not just nostalgia, it's karmic recognition. They are facing the emotional sentence written by their own silence. They know now they were not just rejecting you, they were rejecting the universe's plan. Type Amen to get blessing 555. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. This person had opportunities to contact you before, but ego was in the way. Pride and fear formed a wall so thick they couldn't even see daylight. But now, the wall has cracks, and your image slipped through. The moment your photo reached them, they felt as if someone knocked the air out of their lungs. They were forced to sit down. Some even cried, not from sadness, but from disbelief. Your aura spoke through that photo. It carried your resilience, your forgiveness, your transformation. And it shook their soul awake. Type Amen to get blessing 808. Someone close to them warned them once, you'll regret losing that person. But they laughed it off. They thought the world was wide enough to forget. They thought time could erase. But when they saw that picture, they realized something eternal about you, your energy never leaves. You stay imprinted in the spirit like gold pressed in stone. That image won't leave their mind now. Every time they close their eyes, they see your face. Not the old version, but the one from that photo. The one that tells them, you had your chance. Type Amen to get blessing 313. They are preparing something right now. A message. A way to return without begging but with honesty. They want to tell you everything they've hidden. They want to tell you where they've been, why they disappeared, what they feared, and how every day without you was emptier than the last. But they're afraid you won't care anymore. They saw someone else comment on your post and panicked. Have they moved on? They whispered, afraid you were no longer within reach. And that fear is pushing them to act. Archangel Michael says, your image did more than shake them. It cracked open the spiritual vault where your connection had been locked away. And now the flood is rushing out. Type Amen to get blessing 121. You'll soon feel a shift in your own emotions, waves of sudden thoughts about someone from your past. That's not a coincidence. Their energy is moving toward you, desperate to reach your light. Don't be surprised if you hear from someone you didn't expect. It will come disguised as casual, but there will be desperation underneath every word. They want you to see them, but more importantly, they want you to still feel something. They're searching your pages, your photos, even old conversations. Trying to decode your mood. Trying to find clues. They want to know, would you even recognize them now? Type Amen to get blessing 717. Archangel Michael says, you are rising in ways they never imagined. The photo they saw wasn't just an image, it was a prophecy. It was a sign that heaven is elevating you above what they abandoned. They now believe you're untouchable. That you've aligned with a divine path too pure for their old habits. And they're afraid they missed their only door. But something deeper is at play. You carry a vibration now that pulls truth from the shadows. That picture activated the truth in them, and soon, it will bring confessions you didn't expect. Type Amen to get blessing 666. You'll begin to see signs. Repeated names, memories, numbers. Even songs that bring a face into your mind that you thought you were done thinking about. That's not you, it's them trying to reach you energetically. The moment they saw that photo, they knew your journey was no longer small. You're not waiting anymore. You're walking into your calling, and it shows in every corner of your light. They didn't just recognize your face, they recognized your soul. And their own soul shook from the collision. That's the power you carry now. Type Amen to get blessing 818. They've been speaking your name to others. Quietly. In nervous tones. Some don't even believe them when they say they knew you. Because the person in that photo looks too royal, too transformed, too evolved. You are no longer the version they left. You're the version that God sculpted through fire and grace. That terrifies them more than anything. Soon, they'll try to return. They'll try to justify. But you'll know, because you saw their reaction before they ever said a word. Heaven already showed you in your spirit. Type Amen to get blessing 303. You are about to enter a new season where many from your past will feel exposed. Not because you called them out, but because your light makes their shadows visible. That photo was the alarm they couldn't snooze. Get ready. A message is coming. One you never expected. A confession. A request. A trembling voice saying, I saw you again, and I couldn't believe what you've become. Archangel Michael says, be still and be wise. This is your power season. Let the ones who once walked away feel the distance that they created. And let your photo continue to prophesy what your mouth doesn't have to say. Type Amen to get blessing 909. They're drafting messages late at night and deleting them before sunrise. Their heart races every time they type your name, but fear grips them before they can press send. The truth is, they don't recognize who they are anymore, but they recognized you instantly. Your image awakened something holy in them. Something they thought died long ago. It reminded them of who they used to be when they were with you, before the lies, the silence, the ego. They've kept that photo saved. Don't be surprised if it shows up in their phone gallery again and again, even when they didn't mean to open it. That's heaven allowing the photo to follow them like a mirror. Archangel Michael says, the power you carry now is no longer hidden. It's revealing itself through your presence, your photos, your essence. And every soul that once mistreated you will now be brought back to witness your glory. Type Amen to get blessing 535. Your face in that photo is more than a face. It is a message. A divine scroll written on skin, in light, and crowned in purpose. They wanted to believe they could forget you. They truly thought distance and silence would erase their emotions. But heaven never agreed with their denial. Now they find themselves waking up at night, sweating from dreams where you stand above them, looking down, not with hatred, but with destiny in your eyes. That's what scares them most. You don't need them. But they now need you more than ever. Type Amen to get blessing 141. They are asking mutual friends about you now. Carefully, quietly. They want to know what you're doing, who you're seeing, how you're feeling. They want to know if that look in your eyes in the photo is joy, or love for someone else. Someone even told them, you missed your moment. And it broke them inside. But pride won't let them admit it, yet. They're considering flying to where you are. Just to see you once. Even from a distance. Even just to confirm you're real, not a dream, not a ghost they invented to soothe themselves. Type Amen to get blessing 616. The first time they saw your photo again, their breath caught in their throat. The second time, they whispered your name. And the third time, they wept. Yes, they cried. Not just for what was lost, but for what they gave up. Because your face did not show bitterness. It showed strength. It showed peace. And that shattered them. Now they wonder if you still think about them. If even a single thread remains connected. They hope. But they also know, they may have to live without ever knowing the answer. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They are haunted. Not in a way that punishes, but in a way that exposes. That photo did something permanent. It etched itself into their reality like fire on paper. They think you've forgotten them. But your spirit hasn't. It still echoes in the unseen places. But this time, it is not reaching to pull them back, it is rising without waiting. Archangel Michael says, they were supposed to be with you. But when the divine alignment came, they blinked. They hesitated. And you kept walking forward. Type Amen to get blessing 828. Now their days are filled with flashes, memories, your laugh, your silence, your goodbye. They scroll endlessly, hoping to find more photos, more hints, more proof that they still matter. But each time, they only see how far you've come. They're terrified you'll never speak to them again. That the image they saw was a doorway already closed. Yet something deeper inside them whispers, try. So they are planning. Not to return with apologies alone, but to return with truth. Because they know only truth can touch the version of you they now see. Type Amen to get blessing 909. You're becoming unreachable. And that's what shakes them most. Not because they hate your growth, but because they see they are no longer part of it. And the image reminded them. They played with your emotions before. They thought you'd always be there. But heaven has given you wings, and your photo was the proof that you've flown. Now they sit in stillness, listening to songs that used to mean nothing. But now every lyric sounds like your goodbye. Your photo was the beginning of their awakening. Type Amen to get blessing 404. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, it is not your responsibility to go back. Not now. Not after everything heaven pulled you through. If they come, let them come with reverence. Because what you carry now is sacred. What you survived makes your energy rare. And your face, your divine face, has become a key that opens doors they were never ready for. They saw your photo and knew, this is not who I left, this is who I should have stayed beside. And that realization has marked them forever. Type Amen to get blessing 717. They now scroll through your profile in secret, afraid to like anything, terrified you'll notice and think less of them. But every scroll is a prayer, every glance is a plea to the universe to turn back time. They can't stop looking, because that one photo has burned itself into their spirit. They remember the shape of your smile. They remember how your presence used to calm storms inside them. But what shocks them now is the power in your stillness, the fire behind your eyes that they never saw before. You are no longer just a memory. You are a revelation. And your image has become their reminder that God doesn't wait forever. Type Amen to get blessing 313. They have dreams where they try to talk to you, but your mouth never moves. You just look at them. Calm. Untouchable. Glowing. That image, they say, hurts more than silence. In those dreams, they try to apologize, but their voice cracks. And you just walk away. No anger. Just peace. And somehow, that peace slices deeper than any goodbye. They've tried to date others, but no one else looks at them the way you did. No one else carries the light you carry. They see your face in places where it shouldn't be. In crowds. In mirrors. Even in strangers. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Your face isn't just beautiful, it's marked by survival. And they feel it. Even if you don't know it, that one image showed them everything you endured. And they weren't there to help. That is what burns them most. Not that you thrived, but that they weren't part of your rising. They missed the climb. They missed the glow up. They missed the moment your soul unlocked. Archangel Michael says, some people must see your photo from a distance because they never had the heart to hold you close. They didn't protect what they were given, and now, the blessing has flown beyond their grasp. Type Amen to get blessing 919. They keep wondering how the world could shift so much. How the one they thought would always wait has now become the one they wait for. It's a divine reversal. You are no longer who they remember. You are more. And they now know you were the treasure they buried out of fear. They will try to return. Not in arrogance, but in longing. But understand this, your image has already done the speaking. The power is now in your hands. Type Amen to get blessing 202. They are struggling to write the perfect words. To explain years of silence in one sentence. To rewrite 1,000 unspoken thoughts in a single message. But nothing feels worthy. They think about saying, "I saw your photo, and I couldn't breathe." But they worry you'll laugh. Or worse, you'll ignore them. The photo forced them into confrontation, with their cowardice, with their past, with the truth they avoided. And now they have to face you, even if it's just in their mind. Type Amen to get blessing 808. Their heart aches each time they remember how they left things. And that photo replays in their head on loop. Not because you're smiling in it, but because you're powerful in it. You're radiant in it. They envy the person you've become. They adore it, but it scares them. Because they know that version of you wouldn't fall so easily again. That version of you doesn't chase. That version of you chooses. Archangel Michael says, they were allowed to see that photo for a reason. It was heaven's way of saying, now look at what you missed. Look at who you let go. Type Amen to get blessing 717. They keep checking your profile, hoping for a sign that you still care. A cryptic post. A quote. Anything that feels like a door opening. But every time you post, they only see strength. They want to believe there's a version of you that still remembers the good moments. They want to believe they aren't just a ghost in your past. But the more they look, the more they feel like a stranger. Your glow has made them feel like a shadow. Your presence reminds them of everything they ran from. And your face is the only proof that they ever knew someone divine. Type Amen to get blessing 114. This is not just about romance. This is about spiritual alignment. About a soul recognizing what it rejected, and feeling the full weight of it. They may not know how to reach you now. But they are reaching out in energy. You may feel it in the air. In the way your chest tightens randomly. That's them, trying to send a message without words. But heaven is blocking what is not pure. That's why they see you, but can't touch you. They hear your name, but can't speak it without pain. Type Amen to get blessing 404. Archangel Michael says, they will come forward. But not on their timing, on divine timing. And when they do, they will be raw, exposed, vulnerable. Not for sympathy, but for redemption. You must decide with wisdom. Do not move in pity. Move in power. For your image already spoke the truth they weren't ready to hear. The photo changed their life. But your presence will decide their future. And the angels are watching to see what you'll choose. Type Amen to get blessing 636.